Tonight on STN Channel 2 News, we look into recent developments about an alleged sexual assault on campus.
Also, with the semester coming to an end, the university's accepted students are visiting to decide whether or not they are coming to the University of Hartford.
And the Center for Community Service and SGA hosted another Hawks Helping Hartford. We have the details, all that and more, now on STN Channel 2 News. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to STN Channel 2 for our annual Show in a Day. I'm Rachel Sisto.
And I'm Ashley Kaufman.
We begin our newscast with breaking news from the nation's Capitol building. Earlier today, the U.S. Capitol was locked down after a man killed himself on the west front of the Capitol building. A suspicious package was found nearby. Officials told NBC News that a man died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound and that the suspicious package found was his suitcase. The investigation is still in its early stages and authorities are working to find the man's car.
We're also following developing news here on campus. This past week, an anonymous letter was posted online accusing a member of the University Hartford lacrosse men's team of a sexual assault. The letter was posted to Tumblr, a social media blogging site, under the username UHeartAnon. The alleged incident was not reported to authorities, according to the author. The post and the Tumblr site was removed late Tuesday afternoon. The assault has not been confirmed due to the anonymity of the post.
STN spoke with Director of Public Safety John Schmaltz this past week. He could not speak about the alleged incident or accusations, but he did speak on the university's commitments to student safety, saying, quote, "The university and public safety are committed to a quality of life for students to educate themselves in a carefree environment where they don't have to worry about retaliation or hostilities from any group or environment."
And we spoke with Dean of Students Lee Peters, who encouraged students to utilize the university's many resources in reporting a possible sexual assault. He said, quote, "The point that I want to make is clearly that we take sexual violence and assault very seriously. If you report it, then we can really make a difference, and you could find out how to do that by going online to our website. Go to Student Affairs and then go to Health Services and you'll find Title IX, Sexual Violence and Sexual Assault."
We have the contact information for the university's resources to report any cases of sexual assault or violence on our website, stn2.tv. We will have much more on the story next Friday on our regular STN newscast, live at 5 p.m.
Now, Saturday, April 11th, marked the second and final Accepted Students Day for the 2014-2015 school year. Over 600 prospective students from across the nation attended the event.
A sea of red shirts could be seen across campus as members of the Red Key Society prepared for prospective students and their families to arrive on campus. The event included campus tours and a presentation in Lincoln Theater featuring messages from successful alumni. Representatives from different colleges on campus were in attendance to help students learn about different opportunities offered for each major.
It's a program where all of the schools and colleges are involved, so faculty are going to be here to talk about their majors. They're doing demonstrations. The art school's doing a whole day of activities. They're going to do lab demonstrations in the sciences. So it's a chance for us to let these students see themselves here at the University of Hartford.
And then they'll actually be able to sit through their college presentations and talk to professors and students in that major that they're hopefully going to come here for, and they'll be able to learn a little bit more.
Those in attendance were able to speak with current students about any concerns or questions involving campus life and academics. The university has already seen a high enrollment rate for the class of 2019.
The numbers this year for deposits are pretty high, so I think we're going to have a pretty big freshman class this year.
Students interested in getting involved with the Red Key Society can visit the Bates House located next to the administration building.
This past Friday, April 10th, the Center for Community Service and SGA sponsored the 5th annual Hawks Helping Hartford Day of Service. Students were sent to locations all over Hartford to take part in various community service projects, including cleaning up Bushnell Park, assisting young students at the Hartford Public Library, and supplying furniture to previously homeless families with A Hand Up Incorporated. The experience proved valuable to the students who participated, including Eric Martin, who spent the day with A Hand Up Incorporated.
It was like I have to make sure that they're okay, before they move to the house, have everything that they need. And, sometimes, I tell students we become comfortable with the things that we have, when we're not at school, we go home, our homes and our beds. So it was really, really eye-opening.
Martin also encouraged students who have not participated in Hawks Helping Hartford in the past to take part when the program returns in future years. He said that not only did he enjoy volunteering and helping the community, but also getting the chance to work with the other university students in his group who he wouldn't have had the opportunity to work with otherwise.
So now, Rachel, we were inside all day planning our show in the day, but I have to admit, it was really beautiful outside
It was
today.
a great day, and it looks like it's going to be an even better weekend, so we're going to send it to Kim Bigelow at the weather desk. Kim?
Absolutely, guys. You got that right. Thank you. Now, I don't know about you out there, but it feels like we haven't seen the nice weather in quite some time. But I'm excited to say it looks like the sun and warmer temperatures are finally here to stay. I'll tell you more about it after the break.
Coming up after the break, Hartford decides to take back the night. We'll tell you what they did.
And the Martial Arts Club teamed with a world-renowned instructor to help students protect themselves in case of danger.
Plus, we had a chance to sit down with one of the winners from the Goldfarb Art exhibit. Stay tuned to 2.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. It's like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Betsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
And now for your STN Channel 2 weather forecast.
Hello and welcome to the Weather Desk. I'm Kim Bigelow. With spring fling quickly approaching, we've all been keeping our fingers crossed for some nice weather. I have some good news for you guys on that, but first, we'll take a look at what it was like outside earlier today. And guys, if there was one word for today, that was wind. It was a constant breeze going on campus all day with gusts of up to 20 miles an hour reported in the Hartford area. But with that wind came the sun, came the warmer temperatures, so we're looking pretty good. So that was today, but what about tonight? We'll take a look at our first map, and in New England, you can see we're going to be in the 30-degree range here in Hartford. We're going to be 36 degrees, so if you guys are going to be outside tonight, make sure you have your jackets. We're not quite at those nice t-shirt nights during the summer, spring area. We're not quite there yet, but Sunday you can see we're going to be just under 70. The whole New England area in the 60s. We're finally there, guys. We're getting there. So just under 70, we can finally break out those t-shirts, those shorts, daredevils with the tank tops. Go for it. Let's take a look at Sunday night, and we're going to be in the 40s. So like I said, still jackets for the nighttime, long sleeve shirt, jeans, maybe a hoodie, whatever you guys are comfortable with. The wind is going to die down. We'll take a look at our 7-day forecast. Now we can see, like I said, for this weekend, 56. Going into Monday, we're going to be in the 70s. Tuesday, a little bit of rain, nothing too much to worry about. And then we're looking good for the week, but I'm sorry to say, spring fling approaching. It's starting to look like we're going to have a little bit of rain Friday and into Saturday. So that's not that great for us. But hey, we're all going to have fun no matter what. We got concert, we got good music, so I'm looking forward to it. How about you guys?
Oh, it'll be great. I mean, plus a little bit of rain hasn't stopped Hartford from enjoying spring fling anyway,
Absolutely.
so
Every year.
it should be good.
As long as it's no snow.
Yeah. Oh, over it.
Me too, absolutely. All right, well, the Connections Health, Education, and Wellness Center held its annual Take Back the Night event on campus on Thursday, April 9th. The silent march across campus is held to increase awareness of sexual assault and violence. Umbrellas for peace were painted to symbolize shelter and protection and were carried during the march. The walk was supplemented by brief skits and poetry readings by the peer theater group Connectivity, and a speak out was held afterwards in GSU to allow for students to share their personal stories.
On April 13th from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m., Women for Change will be hosting TED Talk speaker Eleanor Longden and her popular speech, The Voices in My Head, which will cover the topics of schizophrenia and mental health. The event will take place in Molly 2 in Dana Hall.
And TEDx will be hosting an event next semester on campus with various presenters, including members of the faculty. A competition will also be taking place between students for a chance to speak at the event. Those wishing to compete are to send a 90-second topic video to tedxuniversityofhhartford@gmail.com by Monday, April 13th.
A world-renowned martial arts instructor was on campus today, teaching students techniques that could help keep them safe in dangerous situations. Statistics say that 1 in 4 college-age women will be attacked while they're at school. But Saturday afternoon, the University of Hartford's Martial Arts Club joined forces with Women for Change to hold a self-defense seminar in the Conover Campus Center.
You know, the rate of rape and sexual assault on college campuses in general is a staggering problem, and we wanted to be a really proactive force in dealing with it. And one of the biggest things that I thought about a lot of self-defense seminars was just that they mostly deal with how to not to get in a dangerous situation. But they don't really talk about how to get out of a dangerous situation once you're there. That's why
the Martial Arts Club brought in Dr. Joe Jones to host the workshop. Jones is a 10th degree black belt. He's been practicing martial arts for 50 years. He's got a doctorate in martial arts. And, oh yeah, he founded his own school of jiu-jitsu. After some demonstration, Dr. Jones had the attendees try out some of the techniques.
I want you to try that technique. Don't snap it because you can break the finger very easily. Just do it lightly on the person.
Foster hopes the seminar will give the attendees the ability to keep themselves safe.
for a lot of seminars, they sort of tell women, oh, don't drink, don't go out, stay locked in your room. But we wanted to show women how to get out of a dangerous situation once you're already in that dangerous situation.
Foster says the Martial Arts Club plans to hold more seminars like this, as well as larger ones in the future.
The Hartford Art School recently held their annual Gold Farb exhibition in the Josselhoff Gallery. Every year, the university selects new artwork from many aspiring artists. This past month, Nicole Melarmarni and Audrey Ryan were the two student artists who received top honors, given the grand prize of $1,000 each. Though Melarmarni won a top honor, she was not confident about her work making it into the show.
I was surprised. I didn't actually think I would be in the show. I mean, it's juried by a curator from Mass MoCA, which is a pretty big museum, so I wasn't sure I was going to get in.
Melarmarni said her work was a self-portrait she did as an assignment in her Intro to Painting class. Her task was to choose a famous painting and then use a piece of art to reflect an image of herself to mimic the artist. Melarmarni chose to base her work off of John Singer Sargent. She said she used her prize money for art supplies so she can continue to paint.
Well, if you've ever been interested in the world of television, STN is a great way to try it out. Whether you're interested in producing, advertising, engineering, reporting, photography, directing, graphic design, or sports, we have it all. Stop by our office in Gingras Room 120G to try it out. And after the break, the university's Student Athlete Advisory Committee is holding a special event for one of its runners.
Also, a UHeart student is looking to make a big difference this summer in a battle against cancer.
Plus, the results from the Boston Marathon bombing trial are in, and we'll have the full details.
And Shelter Pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
You're watching STN Channel 2 News.
If you have an idea for a story you would like us to investigate or an event we should cover, let us know. Send us an email to tips@sdn2.tv, or you can submit a text message through text message at 860-631-STN2. Also get all of your campus news updates by following us on Twitter at twitter.com/STN2.
The university's Student Athlete Advisory Committee is holding the Chaz's Champions Walk on Sunday, April 12th. The event is being held in support of Chaz Davis, a current track and field student athlete. 2 years ago, Davis experienced significant loss of vision, first in his right eye and then in his left. After many doctor's appointments, Davis was diagnosed with Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy. LHON is a disease that causes deterioration and eventual complete loss of vision. Chaz's Champions is being held to raise money for medical research that will go to the United Mitochondrial Foundation.
Chaz has worked really hard. He hasn't let this disability get in the way. You see him around campus. He's still enrolled full-time. He's competed. He still continues to compete. So the biggest thing I can say about Chaz is he's very determined. He's a great student, and he really works hard and doesn't let this get in the way at all.
Registration for the event will begin at 9:30 a.m. in front of the Sports Center, and the walk will begin at 10:30. The cost for the event is $5 for students and $10 for all other participants. The registration fee includes the walk and a catered tailgate afterward. And as the school year is coming to an end, one university student will be participating in an event spanning the entire nation, all to raise money for cancer. Deanna Brossi, a senior in the Barney School of Business, will be part of the 4K for Cancer team, biking 4,000 miles over 70 days from Baltimore to San Diego. Brossi's mother and grandmother have both fought long battles with cancer. All proceeds from Brossi's team will go to the Ullman Cancer Fund for young adults. And you can help support our cause by visiting our website at stn2.tv, where you'll find a link to donate.
A 15-year-old teen named Andrew Asari Bingpong from New Britain, Connecticut, passed away this past week on April 3rd due to a large brain hemorrhage. He woke up during the night complaining about a very painful headache and died the next day. In the face of such a massive tragedy, Andrew's school has unlimited and bounded together as a community to mourn together and celebrate his joyful, if short, life. His funeral was held on April 11th at 9 a.m.
This past Wednesday, a verdict was announced in the trial of Boston Marathon bombing suspect Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. News director Scott Roberts has more.
It's been 2 years since the tragedy that rocked the city of Boston at the 2013 Boston Marathon. This past week, a federal court took the next step in bringing the man responsible to justice. Jurors found 21-year-old Dzhokhar Tsarnaev guilty of all 30 criminal charges brought against him, 17 of which are eligible for the death penalty. Tsarnaev and his late brother Tamerlan are responsible for setting off 2 bombs at the marathon, killing 3 and wounding many more, and in the shooting death of an MIT police officer.
It's not something that you'll ever be over. You know, you'll feel it forever. There'll always be something that brings it back to the forefront. But we're all going to move on with our lives, and we're all going to get back to some sense of normalcy.
It's not a day to celebrate. I guess you could call it a bittersweet victory. Not out there cheering for what happened, but I'm satisfied.
Richard Donahue was injured in the shooting spree near MIT that killed Sean Collier. He agreed with the general consensus, calling the verdict a conflicting one.
Nothing that happened, or no verdict today is ever gonna bring him back. But hopefully this does him and his family, his friends, his coworkers, and our fellow police officers. That brings us a little bit of justice for what happened to him.
As the trial moves to the penalty stage, the question now remains whether or not the jury will vote unanimously to sentence Tsarnaev to death. And while many are calling for the death penalty, others are calling for something different.
I want him out of the picture, where he poses no threat to anyone and where he attracts no more attention. He can spend the rest of his life in jail. That is a real punishment.
Scott Roberts, STN, Channel 2 News.
No date has been set for the next stage of the trial. And so now we are going to send it right over to Sports Director Brendan Madonia. Brendan, what's going on in sports?
Well, a lot, Rachel. I mean, it was a packed day today. Oh, don't worry, I'll get into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sports Desk. I am Brendan Madonia. It was a packed day for sports today. The baseball team had a doubleheader against Binghamton. We have the highlights plus scores from both the LAC squad and the softball team. All that and more, so don't go anywhere because sports is next.
A boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
So, I got this new family. And I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy. Oh, and she even talks to it. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
A runner on first base. Now the big guy comes after that, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And now, your Channel 2 Sports.
And welcome back. Now the Hawks baseball team is starting to turn their season around. After a 4-game losing streak, the Justin Blood-led team has won 4 of their last 5. Well, earlier today, they hosted Binghamton in a doubleheader matchup. Let's go to the highlights. And we start off in game number 1. Hawks getting ready to take on the Bearcats. We're going to start this one. Top of the 6th, Bearcats up 2-1 until Eddie Pasavic knocks this one into right center. He had 2 men on, and this one's out of here. His first of the season. Binghamton now goes up 5-1. Now, we move on to the bottom half of the inning. Aaron Wilson, he's up for the Hawks, leading off in a big way. So he hits this one in the gap in right center. Now he will hustle his way all the way around to third with a triple. Look at this. Amazing play by Wilson, but that'll bring up Dalton Rooch, and he grounds out the short. That brings home the run, though, and now Hawks cut down the lead 5-2. We move on now to the bottom of the 8th. Hartford down 6-3 until Ryan Lukacs lines this one into the left center gap. This allows Dave McKinnon and Ben Bankston to score. Lukacs stops at third, and now it is 6-5. But there's more. 2 outs now, same inning. Nick Campana with Lukacs at third. Campana grounds to short, who bobbles it. That allows Lukacs to score, and we're all tied up at 6. Now this game will go into extra innings, a little free baseball. Bottom of the 10th, bases loaded, 2 outs for Campana. And boy, does he come in the clutch. Lines this one down the left field line. And that would do it. Late inning heroics, and the Hawks win in dramatic fashion on a walk-off single. The final score, 7-6 in favor of the Hawks. Ryan Lukacs going 2 for 4 with a double and a triple, along with 3 RBIs. Dave McKinnon also had a big game. He went 3 for 5. He scored twice. Jeremy Charles gets the win for Hartford. Coming in relief, he now has a 3-1 record. Now Mike Urbanski gets the loss for the Bearcats despite a big offensive turnout, with Eddie Pasavic going 3 for 5. Of course, he had that home run in the game. And Chris McGee, he went 2 for 5 with a double and a ribby. Now, of course, Game 2 was also this afternoon, and this one, well, it didn't go quite as well for the Hawks, the final being 8-4. It started out well as UHaw scored the first 2 runs in the first inning with Ben Bankton scoring Dave McKinnon and Ryan Lukacs' sac fly. but Binghamton was able to answer back and eventually take the win. For the Hawks, Eric Osberg went 3 for 3. He had a ribby. And UHA starter Sam McKay, he gets the loss after 5 innings of work, giving up 6 earned runs. The Bearcats were able to double their home runs from the last game as Zach Blandon and Jake Thomas both went yard, both went 3 for 4, and both had 2 ribbies. The Hawks now moved to 12 and 17 on the year and split the doubleheader with the Bearcats. Moving on now to the softball team, who are just not having a dream season. They took on Stony Brook in a doubleheader earlier today. Let's go to the board. And, well, dream season just keeps on going. Well, of course, not going well for the Lady Hawks, the final being 16-3 after just 5 innings. Kelsey Bird for UHA gets the loss in this one, going most of the way, giving up 10 earned runs and 13 hits. She's now 2-6 on the season. Now, Margaret Betts was the only one to get an extra base hit with a double. She also had a ribby in the game. For SBU, Bria Green did some work, going 2 for 3 with a home run. 13 for her on the season. She also had 5 RBIs. And Diane Caruso also went 2 for 3 with a home run. She had 2 ribbies. On to game 2, and again, not the way the Hawks wanted to go as they get shut out. The final being 8-0. Again, Margaret Betts, only one of 2 players to have a hit for Hartford in the game, and again, it was another double. Bianca Ross gets her 11th loss of the season, and she only went 2 innings and gave up 6 runs. Allison Kukroff gets the W for Stony Brook, throwing a complete game again, only giving up 2 hits. She also finished with 9 strikeouts. So now the 2-29 Lady Hawks will finish out their series against the Seawolves tomorrow. Now on to the Lac squad, who has been hot as of late, winning their last 3 games. They look to continue that streak up against UMass this afternoon. Let's go to the board. And as you see, your final is 15-8 in favor of the Hawks. Kevin O'Shea finishing with 5 goals and 2 assists. 4 UHA players in total finished with hat tricks, including O'Shea. The others include Griffin Fienner, Justin Huggins, and Matt Carroll. Brendan Haggerty was one of the 3 Minutemen to score 2 goals. He also had an assist. And Grant Whiteway and Andrew Sokol were the other 2 players. The Hawks now move to 7-4 on the season as they take on Sacred Heart next. And from the field, we move to the fairways as the men's golf team took part in the Till Duty is Done Collegiate Invitational today, hosted by UConn. Round 1 took place. Here's how things played out. Well, Hartford sits in first, currently shooting a .295 and 7 over par. They're followed by UMass Lowell Bryant and St. Peter's. LIU Brooklyn sits in 5th, and now host UConn currently is in 10th, shooting 27 over par. Will Betts for the Hawks leads overall in the individual standings, shooting a 68, which is good enough for 4 under par. The next UHA player is Wally Gonzalez, who sits tied for 4th. Round 2 continues tomorrow. And now it's time to say how yeah as we take a look into the AHL and the Hartford Wolfpack. Now that the season is coming to an end, the Pack are looking as like a strong contender for the Calder Cup. As you see from our Pack Attack board, it was a win and in situation for the Wolfpack as they got a victory against the Springfield Falcons. Hartford now locks up a spot in the playoffs. Now the Pack are currently seated in 6th in the standings, tied with the Providence Bruins, both with 87 points. With 5 games remaining, Hartford has a matchup against Providence, along with 2 more games against Albany and Bridgeport. And finally, it's time to take a look at the upcoming games here on campus. Tomorrow, the baseball team will finish their series up against the Binghamton Bearcats. That game will be at 12. And also, the softball team will have their rubber match against Stony Brook, also tomorrow at 12.
A lot going on in sports.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, hey, you know what? Spring weather is here, too, so a lot of spring sports starting up, and I'm excited for it.
I do want to make a shout-out. I have 2 roommates on the golf team, but one of them, it's their birthday today. So, Anna Mallet, happy birthday at your golf tournament.
Well, thank you for tuning into our special Show in a Day edition of STN Channel 2 News. I'm Rachel Sisto.
And I'm Ashley Kaufman.
We'll be back here next Friday at 5.